Hello friends, I am Shukanna Pal, Assistant Professor of English, Jivantala Rokeya Mahavidyalaya. Today I am going to give you a background and introduction to Christina Rossetti. This is included in Module 24, Week 9 of your course layout. Christina Rossetti was born in London on December 5, 1830. Her father, Gabriel Rossetti, was an Italian. He had to leave his country for his political associations. Later, he settled in London and soon became a professor of Italian for King's College, London. He married Frances Polidori, a half British, half Italian woman. Christina was the youngest of four children born to Gabriel and Frances. Dante Gabriel Rossetti, one of the founders of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, and William Michael Rossetti, a well-known man of letters, were her illustrious brothers. Christina also proved her might in writing verses at a very early age. The Rossetti children were brought up in a very cosmopolitan atmosphere. They grew up spending most of their times reading poetry and getting into political discourses. They got a taste of rural life while holidaying in their grandfather's Polidori's country house. At the age of 17, Christina published her first volume of verses with the help of her grandfather. In 1848, her brothers Dante Gabriel Rossetti found the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. Its other illustrious members were William Holman Hunt, John Everett Millais, William Michael Rossetti, James Collinson, and others. In 1848, she got engaged to James Collinson, whom she had met as a part of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. However, the differences in their religious views kept them apart, and finally the engagement got broken. She lived the later part of her life in complete isolation, nursing her ill father. Christina was a professed Anglican Christian. This can be understood well from a reading of her poems and sonnets. In her early life, Christina lived with her mother, wrapped up in spiritualism and strong religious feelings. She declined many marriage offers because of this. She worked for prostitutes as well as fallen women in St. Mary Magdalene's Home for Fallen Women between 1860 and 1870. Her experiences here can be traced in Goblin Market. In 1862, her brother Dante Gabriel Rossetti established a center comprising of various illustrious intellectuals like Swinburne, Browning, Louis Carroll. Christina Rossetti remained to the end of her life a recluse woman, preferring to live a life of isolation. Her works include Goblin Market and other poems, The Princess Progress and other poems, A Pageant and other poems, Sing Song, a nursery rhyme book, and new poems. Rossetti showed her poetic temperament at the tender age of 11. Many of her poems and collections were published posthumously. For example, New Poems was a collection which was published in 1896 after her death. Other posthumous publications include poetical works published in 1904 and edited by her brother William Michael Rossetti, poems selected and edited in 1904, and many others. Throughout her life, Rossetti did not forget her Victorian atmosphere, though she preferred to lead the life of a recluse. She came to see her life as a test of her power to give up all worldly rewards. But really, she was never out of touch with the Victorian world around her. This can be seen by her service during the Crimean War, where she worked as a nurse in the hospital at Scutari. She worked for the London poor, and she also worked for prostitutes in the St. Mary Magdalene's house. She moved with such great personages such as Edmund Gosse, Hall Caine, Catherine Tynan, and others. She was greatly influenced by the poems of Walt Whitman and Emily Dickinson. Though most of her poems and sonnets have a personal, lyrical, biographical quality, we can safely say that Christina Rossetti was a representative poet of the Victorian age. Dear learners, I hope you found this content useful and informative. Thank you.